There's so much more to music than a woman's body. There's so much more to music than drugs and being up in a club.
6 years ago, before we knew what 2020 would become, I sat down with a singer-songwriter named Tiffany and asked her about community, healing, and finding your voice. What she said then, I think about more now than I did the day we recorded it. This is a flashback to our very first episode of Speaking of Phenomenal. Then and now. Why don't we raise our hand more often to accept the compliment, to live in our space and who we are right now today? It takes a village and in building community.
It's really important to surround yourself around people who will help you thrive and call out those things. We're not that different from each other. We all feel, we've all went through something. You want to make sure that you are surrounded around people who are building you up, that are lifting you up, that are helping you see your strengths and not tearing you down. There's a lot of common threads that are intertwined with us as humanity. And I think if we just kind of remind ourselves of that, it will help us to know that we're all included in this conversation. We're all included in this time and space. It helps to lighten the load because when you feel like you're by yourself and it can get heavy. So it takes those brave souls to reach out or to send a post or to send an encouraging word or something. And one of the things that I'm really passionate about is just kind of being a light to just encourage others to do the same. Community is absolutely important and it's out there.
When we recorded this, community meant something specific, showing up for each other while the world sat at home alone. 6 years later, I've had to ask myself a harder question. Are we actually building community? It's the same question that started this whole thing back in 2018 when the 52 Phenomenal Women Project began as portraits and written interviews. 52 women in year one, 104 women after 2 years. This podcast didn't start until the fall of 2020 with Tiffany as our first guest. The community has always come first. The microphone came second. 68 episodes later, we're here.
I am Tiffany. I am a creative by nature. I am all things music. I am super passionate about the heart of women and children. And I use whatever gifts and talents I have, including music, to share messages that bring hope, that inspire, that empower. I feel like this song, Woman in particular, off of the Wildflower EP, it is really, if you listen to the lyrics, my co-writer, Tara Stenson, we actually wrote the entire EP together, but every single lyric, including the woman's song, is extremely intentional and extremely empowering. Listen to every single word. It's just a reminder of who you are. And it's worthy and it's honorable and it's equipped and it's called and it's confident and it's strong. I've gotten so much feedback from women who have heard it and felt inspired by it because maybe no one has heard that message before, that they can be all of these things and it goes beyond your exterior. It's what you carry within. I'll use whatever creative gifts that I have, including music, to get messages that are empowering, that will inspire you to become your best self. Wildflower birthed from a divorce that I did not want. Sometimes you feel more of a healing through song, through singing. For me, in order to help with my healing process, I wanted to do this EP that was a reflection of my heart. It's not the conventional flower, but it's still beautiful, and it might not have went the way everybody else did. This was not the path that I had chosen for me, but I know that God can take something and make it so beautiful and give it such a beautiful message on the inside and out, and that's how I felt about Wildflower. Some of the reasons why I walked away from certain record labels is because the lyrics that they wanted me to sing was not a reflection of my heart anymore. It's not me. Not everybody's going to like it. Everybody kind of wants you just to go upstream like everybody else, and that's totally fine. But for me, I sleep well, and there's peace in my heart. It's a really beautiful time to be a creative, whether you have a podcast, whether it's a song that's on your heart, because you don't need big companies anymore. You just need some passion and you need this idea and you just go for it, just all in. Music and conversation is not one dimensional. I think we've been so busy before 2020, just hustling, just going, get up, get your coffee, get the kids to school, get to work, but you're not really thinking, you're not really connecting with people. You said self-care and taking that time to read a book. And 2020 can teach us in a way to think about the stuff that really matters in our lives, family and connection. It might matter to, something different to someone else. But for me, I realized, 2020 is about connecting, about family, about raising my child and being the best person that I could be, taking time out to read those books and to learn and to study and to grow and be the best human being that I can be. I don't know if I would be able to do that in any other year, because you feel like there's so much that you have to do to keep up, and this year it's a way where there's an opportunity to really just rebalance things on the inside. It's the perfect time to reflect if you take that time and hold on to your peace and really take care of yourself in those dreams. There's something in 2020 where we can really just start remembering those dreams that we might have forgotten in the hustle and the bustle. And ourselves too. We're not getting this day back. So we want to make the best of it.
That freedom she's describing, posting without a label's permission, making something because it's true and not because it tests well, came a few years before the flood, before anyone could generate a song, a voice, a face with a prompt. Authenticity in 2020 was a nice idea. In 2026, it's closer to a survival skill. It's the same instinct that's kept every one of these conversations honest. From the 52 women I photographed and interviewed in 2018 to the podcast that grew out of it in 2020, to 6 seasons and listeners in over 100 countries now. The goal was never to scale the formula, just the reach.
There's grace in that, because I understand that some days are easier than others. We got to feel the feels, because I have just going through a divorce, going through a grieving process, having to shift a lot of things. I realize that, when people say, oh, just get over it. You cannot just get over anything. Anything traumatic, anything that has took away a little piece of your heart, you have to go through in order to grow into who you're supposed to be.
You have to sit with the grief. You can't just push it under the rug. These are such important lessons for us all. Patience. Patience is the thing. Patience and breathing.
We didn't have the language yet for half of what we call now languishing or lockdown isolation, or just being screen fatigued. But listen to what she's actually saying here. Feel all the feels. Don't skip the process. And it holds up better than most of what's been written about in mental health since. It's the advice I needed before I knew this would turn into hundreds of women's stories instead of one. You can't rush the mission any more than you can rush grief.
Keep going back to the lyrics in Women because I think about it daily. In case you forgot, let me remind you who you are. In case you forgot, let me remind you who I am. Maybe that's the biggest gift that 2020 has given us all, is this time to go, I am strong.
Thank you for revisiting episode 1 of Speaking of Phenom, where the whole thing began. If you're new here, now you know why community and authenticity are the 2 things I can't stop coming back to on this show. If this meant something to you, please share it. And if you haven't already, a like, a follow, or a 5-star review helps even more people find this community, and it genuinely means the world to me. There's a voicemail link in the top of the show notes. Tell me what landed or which flashback episode you want next. I listen to every single one. Until next time, I'm Amy Boyle, and this is the Speaking of Phenomenal podcast.